Hi, everybody. I thought I would go through a little bit of thing about shipping something or mailing something to the Philippines and the phone service. What I try to give information that you don't find on the other vloggers. They all pretty much tell the same stuff over and over again. And a lot of this stuff I had to search for and learn on my own. Now, you can find everything about Billick buy-on boxes, but then nobody mentions if you try to mail something, which is this is where I had a problem. Now, this is a box that I shipped from the United States. It cost me $121 to ship that from Kentucky. And I shipped that off November 9th. And I got here the 16th, and I figured, well, maybe a week or two after I got here, this box would show up because there was some stuff in there that I wanted to bring here, but it put my carry-on or check-in luggage overweight. And I checked price to replace what I shipped, and it was more expensive to buy it and have it order it here. So I just went ahead and mailed it through U.S. Postal Service priority box. So after I got here, I kept an eye on the shipping, and about November 21st, it said it had been shipped back to Kentucky because it was rejected from the sender. And I said, well, I've been here. Nobody's rejected it. So I called the post office, and they said, well, it was sent. It arrived in Kentucky. I said, well, I sent it from Kentucky. What sense would it make to send it to the same place I was at? I said, I wouldn't mail something to myself right at the same address. And so they got to looking, and they put a service request number in. The next day, middle of the night here, but day in Kentucky, I get a call from the local post office. And the gentleman told me it was the wrong custom form was filled out, that he helped the clerk get the right custom form, and it was mailed out again on November 21st. So I've waited. He had no tracking number for me, so I couldn't track anything. And I've waited and I've waited. And yesterday was November 5th, or January 5th. I'm sorry. So it's been over 2 months, and this box is lost pretty much. I call him and tell him day before yesterday, I said, this box has never showed up. And he said, well, sometimes a month or two, 6 months, it'll bounce back to us. And I said, well, there's stuff in there that I needed. So I need to file a claim on a lost package. And he said, okay, I'll try to find you a tracking number and get back to you tomorrow. Well, never heard back, of course. So in the meantime, I did some research, and I seen a lot of people, even Filipinos, say I mailed something and it never showed up. But ended up, whoever the recipient was had to go to the post office, and there it sat. So the town I'm in actually has no post office. The nearest post office is a half-hour drive away. So yesterday, me and my girlfriend decided, well, we're going to take a ride, check at the post office, see if it's there. And so we get there and walk in the post office, and my girlfriend asked in Bisaya, about a package, and they asked what kind. And I look down on the floor, and there's some packages laying there, and I see this box sitting there. And I told her it's going to be a box that looks exactly like this one, only not quite as beat up. Because if you can see, there was a lot of crush and damage on it. So the postal worker looks, and she goes through, starts looking at packages. And I said, it will look just like this box here. And she looks at it. Well, that's the box. That's the one I mailed here to my girlfriend's address. If you're going to mail something like this here, make sure you put the recipient's phone number on it, because that's why it sat there since December. Is there was no phone number. They never called. They don't deliver apparently unless they call you first. So it sat there since sometime in December till yesterday, just waiting for somebody to come in and pick it up. No notification it was there or anything. And I was told in the United States, their post office, they said once it hit the Philippines, they have no control over it. They can't find out where it's at. So just to learn a lesson there, uh, put a phone number on there of the recipient if you're going to mail something from the Philippines. Mailing is not the best option. Billick Buy-On Box is by far the best option. If you want to know about those, you can find plenty of information on Billick Buy-On Boxes. I do have 2 of those coming, but there's been delay on those too. I guess because it was close to Christmas. One of them is supposed to be here, arrived in Manila on December 25th, Christmas Day. And I checked the day after Christmas and it said it's been delayed till January 5th. So I checked on January 4th and it says it's now being delayed till January 14th. It's in Taiwan, waiting to be put on the container it's in to be put on a ship and sent here. And of course, after it hits Manila, it's going to have to go through customs and all that. So I probably won't get it till maybe February, I'm guessing. The other box I don't have a tracking number for. It was left in the United States apparently. And so I was told that would be the end of February, but who knows? It may be March, April, May. Who knows? But one thing I did find out when I looked at this, they said it had been rejected from the recipient on tracking. Well, I looked on this box and there's a sticker right here. And it says, handwritten forms are not acceptable. All forms must be electronically generated. And if you look under there, the customs form, the address, and everything, they had me handwrite. So it was rejected, sent back, so they had to go back and do electronic forms to get it sent here. Now the next thing is telephone service here in the Philippines. Some of you may be aware of Load, what Load is. If you're not, you can find plenty of information on that. If you're chatting with a girlfriend, wife, whatever over here, you know you need to buy Load in order to have phone, internet service, or whatever. But there's 2 major carriers. There's Globe and there's Smart. The problem is, like, my friends and family over here, girlfriend, not family, are all on Globe. So I had to buy a SIM card when I got here for Globe. If I had bought Smart Card, we could not communicate with each other. We could not call each other. Of course, you can use internet and communicate through Facebook or whatever that way. But as far as phone calling, they're not compatible. And when I got to Manila, the first kiosk I found was for Smart. And I walked up and I said, "Do you have Globe?" And the lady said, "No, only Smart, but it'll work with Globe." And I said, "I need to check on that because I don't believe that's true," which it is not true, because most of the government buildings you'll see listed, they'll have a Globe phone number listed and a Smart phone number listed, because you cannot call one from the other. So something else to be aware with phone service here is whoever you need to communicate, make sure if they're on Smart or Globe, and get your SIM card if you come here accordingly to what they have. If you need both, you might need a phone for dual SIM cards so you can have both. So phone service to be aware of. I've never heard any of this on any of the other vloggers, and I watched a lot of vloggers before I came here to be informed about everything I could. And those are two things I've never heard mentioned: the mail system and the phone system, how it works here. I did ask my girlfriend, we were standing in line and I seen the globe number and the smartphone number listed on the government building where we were standing using the ATM there. And I asked my girlfriend, what about landline? And she said, I don't know. But I don't see any landlines here. So I think everybody's swapped over to cell service, even the government here. Trying to call that post office, we wanted to call. There was a number listed, but it was out, kept saying out of service, or not a valid phone numbers. That's the recording we kept getting when we tried to call that. And it did not look like a globe phone number. It did not look like a smartphone number. So I suspect maybe that was a landline. And all the post offices in the area where I'm at had that same number. It didn't matter what city. So you can't call the post office. You actually have to go in. So hopefully that'll help some of you if you're coming to the Philippines, or communicating here, or sending mail here. Hopefully that gives you some good information that you're probably not going to find anywhere else. Hopefully, if I can help one person, it's worth it. So have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.